We speak a lot on the show about being present and being in the moment and being in tune with your body. And I always say, biofeedback, which is your body's ability to tell you something. Like your body's always telling you something, but many of us, I'll say many of us for the most part, have really disconnected from the wisdom that is our physiology, because we do so much of life, including food, including all the other variables, on autopilot, that there's a lot of unconsciousness happening around things like sleep and restoration and food and movement, functional movement, healthy movement, and therapy, but when you go, hang on, let me get back in touch with my body, then all of a sudden, like, shit starts to happen. And this is because we've been so disconnected and we're so used to running from place to place for a solution, we actually underestimate our own ability to heal. And I think that's, that idea that you spoke of, well, what can you do? I remember I had a young dude at the gym. His name was Ben, 19, 202 kilos, all kinds of things going on, as you can imagine. And he was basically kind of dragged there by his parents as a last resort. When I started with him, he's like, what's the point? I can't do anything. And we'd literally get to the bottom of the stairs, and I'd say, from the bottom of the stairs to the driveway is 40 meters. Let's walk there. So we'd walk there, and then we'd rest, and he'd lean on something. I go, that's good, mate. Let's walk to that driveway. Then we'd walk to the next driveway, which would be 50 meters, and he'd sit on the fence. And we'd talk about shit. I go, good, get up. And that block there was 900 meters. So it's not even 1 kilometer. It used to take him an hour to get the 900 meters. And eventually we ended up running the 900 meters like multiple times. But that's the thing, is you go, what can you do? Can you get out of that chair and sit back in it? Yep. So get out of it, sit back in it 5 times. That's training.
He didn't know what was possible. I didn't know it was possible to be where I'm at today. Like, there was no way. And so people come to us in that same kind of state of mind because they're basing their future off their current reality. And that's why mindset is such an important component of recovery. And that's why your work is so important, because you can do all the right things. You could eat really healthy. You could do some restorative movement. You could be calming your nervous system down. But if you're constantly beating yourself up and telling yourself that it's not possible for you and that you're different than everyone else, then, you're more likely to go down the path that you don't want to go down. And it's until we switch that narrative and also start to see tangible improvements and results. Like, we see it every single week in our program, and it's phenomenal. Like, we had a mum, really bad, could barely function during the day, couldn't look after her kids, husband had to look after the kids. And now within 6 months, like, her husband works away now and she's like a single mum and he's doing it really well. And that's a huge improvement and a massive celebration for someone who couldn't look after their own kids 6 months ago, to now cooking meals, to having the energy to play with them, to feeling excited about the future. She's gone from living in a cage of fear and being so worried about tomorrow to now feeling like, what do I want to do? Like, what's my next dream thing? Like, what do I want to do with my business? How does that look? And so the conversation changes, and what we spoke about 6 months ago isn't what we speak about now, because her life is totally different. And so we have to, when someone comes to us, we can't say like, well, what's your dream job? And what's your perfect life look like? It's like, we can't even go there yet. Let's just focus on where you're at. What do we need to stop doing? What do we need to start doing? And how can we just start today and start to do what's appropriate? One of the things that you mentioned about the physiology side of things and not pushing your body beyond its means is the first point of call for us is we teach all our members the baseline theory. Which is basically making sure that you feel no worse than you currently do after you do an activity. And once you get a solid foundation of your baseline, then you have a structure that you can plan your day around that's going to be appropriate for you, and also build strength and stamina and resilience in your body that you can adapt to.